Hello, everyone, and welcome to day number 2 of Minnesota Varsity League's All-Star Weekend. My name is Thunder McFadden. I am joined by my man Skeptor. Skep, we are starting off the night with chess. It is Chess All-Stars. You and I are getting into it. This is the game that, hey, I'm least familiar with, but we have some of the most fun casting it, man. How excited are you for tonight?
Dude, excited is one word. Interested to see how it plays out is another. I hear we have four-player chess on the cards, man. That sounds absolutely ridiculous. But
Mhm.
first, we're gonna have to get through these exciting games of bullet chess, Thunder. I mean, it's gonna be a good night.
It's going to be a fantastic night, folks. Thank you all for being here. Tell your friends. We have a lot of fun action here coming up tonight. And then after this will be Rocket League. So stay tuned for the rest of the evening as well. You said it, Skep. We're going to have bullet chess to start off. So we've got four players, four All Stars that are here tonight. That's going to be Scolio out of Cedar Mountain, Donda from Orono, and then Peter and Matthew. Those are both players from SJP. All four of these All Stars are going to be competing against each other in bullet chess to start off the day, folks. So those will be 1 minute games, or I believe the players will get 1 minute apiece, so it'll be technically two
Yep.
minute games. And those will be, they have to think that fast. Got to move through it, got to make it happen, and then boom, it is done. So we will have each player going through and playing the rest of the players in this invisible bracket that we have for bullet chess. After that, we will move on and then we will play four-player chess,
Yeah.
which normally we all know chess is a game played between two players, 1v1. But we're going to put four players on the board, make the board a little bigger, a little more space, and it's going to get crazy. So the way I like to
Yep.
look at it, Skep, and you can agree or disagree with me, but I like to think of it like swimming. What better way to learn how to swim than get thrown into the pool? Right? So why don't you and I just get thrown into the pool of chess right here with some bullet chess? All right. We get after it. We'll make it happen. And then we're going to have the four-person chess, the big board. Oh, man. Going to be quite a night, my man.
I know, dude. I'm still trying to wrap my head around this four-player chessboard. I'm
Right?
excited to see what it even looks like. It's going to
Yeah.
be lots of exciting stuff coming up, man. But yeah, bullet chess, like you said, it goes by super quick. So don't blink. I
Mhm.
mean, you're going to miss all the action. So whenever we
Yep.
get that rolling, I mean, I'm excited though.
Yep.
Everybody going to be playing everybody. So we're going to have a total of 6 matches. It's going to be good fun.
Yep. Going to be great. We're going to start off, folks. We're going to start off with Scolio v. Donda. And then after that, Peter versus Matthew. And then we'll move on and we're going to kind of cycle through the groups after that, or the pairs of players, rather. And
Mhm.
then, like I said, from there, we're going to go to the four-person chessboard. So, watching throughout this first part of it, we're looking for quick thinking, obviously, quick plays. And you just don't have the time. You don't have the time like you normally do. Our matches
Yeah.
are normally on a 10-minute timer. These are now a 1 minute timer. So you have 10% of the time, obviously. And how do you make adjustments for making decisions that quickly? What do you have to sacrifice, right? I mean,
Right,
because there's
dude.
some different defensive strategies and some moves that you're either going to have to pass up or you're going to have to just kind of forget about it,
Adapt on the fly, man. That's what
right?
it feels like. It's gonna be you're gonna have to
Time's
adapt with
moving.
whatever's getting thrown at you and legit gonna have to switch into it quickly. Here we
Yep.
go. Match number one getting right underway, man. I'm excited. The second this first move,
Whoa!
oh, well,
Looks like we're going to start it
maybe,
again.
yeah, we're gonna start it again because that
No
that
problem.
it shouldn't go that quick.
No,
Like
no,
maybe
no.
that quick is a little bit too much.
Yeah, that's
Somebody's
laser
already
chess.
waving
We're
the white
talking bullet
flag.
chess. Bullet
Bullet
chess
chess.
is bullets are slower than lasers. We know this.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, you and I used to play in the FPS games. All right, we're not playing
Yeah.
laser
Yeah.
chess, folks. We're playing bullet chess. So
Yep.
let's get that thing loaded back up, and then we'll get into it. It is again. We're here to have a party. We're here to have fun. We're here to celebrate these players that have worked so hard this season. And folks, chess is one of our least populated esports.
Oh,
So we
we are
appreciate these
going.
players being here and having a good time and working throughout the season. Oh boy.
Thunder, the action is underway. Knight's getting traded out quickly. Black Bishop slides in, picks that knight up. Oh, and my goodness, man. This bishop is teleporting around this chessboard right now.
Yeah, just doing
Moving
quick work.
quick.
Is it going to move in here on the
Oh, that
knight or no?
pawn.
Ooh, another
I
knight
like that.
coming back though, and just black playing so aggressively through this.
Oh, that's check. Nice pawn movement there to block that. Queen aggressing forward still. Has this knight good positioning so far? White might be in a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, it's a
Ooh.
distinct possibility. The generator is loving,
Oh,
and
black
that is
wins it
that.
like
Black
that, man.
will win that opening match
Call it a
between
quickie,
Donda
bullet
and
chess.
Scolio.
Dang.
And if I
You
go to
know,
look back,
who was the winner on that one? Because I'll be honest, I did Donda, the
Donda,
winner.
that's right.
Donda.
Donda with the big dub. We're trying to make sure that we have the correct player names along with the gamer tags and everything because everything's different. But either way, GG's and great work to Donda taking
Dude,
the first dub in bullet chess tonight. Skep.
I'll
Everything
tell
again,
you
as we said,
I'll
happening
tell you
so quickly,
something.
bro.
Impressive out of Donda, yeah, to get out so aggressively. I mean, that knight positioning was right there up with the queen and got that job done quickly. I will say, dude, I would nosedive flat to my face if I was playing bullet chess. The white flag is in the air.
Yep.
Dude, I was just struggling on the 10-minute chessboard, you know, I because I
Yeah.
want to think about my move. I'm not
Hmm.
quick witted. I might be quick witted on the maps, but not on the chessboard. That
Yes.
is not the strong suit. So I definitely need. I'm a geezer when it comes to that one. I'm running the geezer race. I need that extra amount of time to really
Yeah.
sit down and ponder my moves there.
I'm with you. I'm with you. And for me, it's a matter of just overthinking it, right? And
Yep.
and just being like, okay, hold on, hold on, hold on. Have I covered every angle? And then wait, no, I haven't. I haven't. So then all of a sudden you're rethinking it and
Yep.
overthinking it again when you have that extra time. Whereas, in the bullet chess again, you do not under any circumstance have that extra bit of time for
No.
decision
No, sir.
making. Whew,
Dude, here we go though. What about this matchup? SJP Peter taking on SJP Matthew, former teammates turned rivals at a
that's right.
blink of an eye. They won't talk to each other in the halls for weeks after this matchup. That's what this is looking like. Peter v
Yeah, right.
Matthew. Only one can stay at St. John's Prep after this game. That's what it's looking like. So
I think so. I
the
think the
victor.
Twitter is gonna they think the Twitter is gonna blow up, and it's
Yep.
just gonna be a matter of I remember what you did at All Stars,
Yep.
and then
Yeah,
that'll
man.
be the tension that carries its way into the hallways, of course, clearly at SJP. These bitter,
Like,
bitter rivals now.
oh my goodness. Did you hear about
We're
Peter beating Matthew in bullet chess at MNVL All
Yep.
Stars? You
Here
can't
we
make it
are
up.
creating drama at SJP, and we're just the casters of the league. Yeah, we sh these
Probably,
guys are
yeah.
not feuding. They're not
You're right,
beefing,
you're right, you're right,
okay?
you're right.
There's no beef
It's
here.
friendly,
In
it's friendly, all
It
friendly
is.
here.
As they get onto the
The
board for
laser
just a brief
chess.
second, there's one other game of laser chess, and it's always aborted because everybody
It's too
fires too
quick, man.
fast, clearly.
It is just too
Oh,
quick.
what a
Can't keep
time.
up with it.
Yep.
Dude,
Yep.
you know, I didn't get a chance to cast much of the chess games last season. I mean,
Mhm,
but I did get to watch a little bit of chess in the MNVL finals and also, last week, and I thought it was some great matches though
mhm.
overall. What were your thoughts on it?
I think well, here we go. We're
Oh
into it.
yeah,
Oh,
here
we're
we go.
already into it.
We are going quickly.
Let's go. Who is that? We've
Peter
got
in the
Peter on the
white
bottom in white,
and
and
Matthew on the black.
yep, Matthew in black making big moves, but has lost a pawn or two here, retreating that knight as the pawn moves up, and they're going to offer a trade. Not going to happen there, Skep.
Yeah, Peter playing very aggressive with this pawn doing work. Queen coming out though to shut
Ooh.
down that early aggression. Knight now trying to create space, but Matthew going hyper aggressive with that queen, shooting up and taking out the knight and looking for more. The
Yep.
bishop to play defense, and the
And
queen
where's this
falls
queen going to
back.
go? You have a couple options there to go back across and start taking out other pawns, but no, going to retreat a touch. And the generator loves it for the side of Matthew over at SJP. The positioning looks good. The knight comes out, but gets traded and traded again. Bishop and knight off the board from that mid play, Skep.
Ooh, but the clock's starting to work against Matthew here. Only has 10 seconds remaining to Peter's 20. Playing a smart defensive battle, and Matthew's starting to run out of clock thunder.
Sure is. Yeah. And that might be it at the end of the day, right? You have only so much time to make these moves. You have to think through the first move, the next one, and the one after that. Now, Peter running out of time. Everybody down to these last few seconds. What? Oh, can Matthew finish this off and get a check before time runs out?
Doesn't look like it. zero
Ooh,
point 0.6 seconds left. One more move, and that should do it.
that
That's a
is
win
it.
for White.
That is
No more
it.
time.
Oof.
Peter
Out.
dodging the bullet.
Wow, yes, Peter outlasting Matthew on that one. Oh, what a matchup between those two players out of SJP, who again are not beefing at all about the chess that they're
No beef,
playing
no
for their
beef.
school. They're having a great time, in fact. So GG's to both of those players, and we are through round number 1 of bullet chess. It's happening faster than we can even keep our eyes on it there, Skep.
Oh yeah, man, dude. These guys, this is what I'm talking about. I mean, you don't have time to think. You
Not
do,
even
but
close.
you don't really. So it's like it's instinct moves that these players are working with, man. It's fascinating to see how quick these guys can play chess. I mean,
Yep.
bullet chess is a completely different kind of chess entirely, man. You got to be a real freak on the board to be
Yep.
able to pull that one off.
Yeah, certainly. Certainly, and I think that's perfectly put. You really do have to be a freak on the board. You have to be very, 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 very good and very savvy too,
Yeah, man.
right? In this type of chess, like they're at the end, right? Matthew going down again just by the nature of the clock running out, the clock being the enemy. So you have so many variables and so many things that you have to be thinking about. How do you handle the stress and the pressure? How do you handle it? Because it is that, right? It's 120 seconds of let's go. And then it's
Yeah,
over.
man, for real. For real.
So
Two
yeah.
minutes of moving around, thinking about every possible,
Yep.
chess piece going everywhere. It's really a lot. It's really a lot crammed into 2 minutes, which it's over amount of information. It's a brain overload. You start losing all function. But here we go now. Donda versus Peter, our first round of the second matchup, getting right into it.
You said
And
it. Peter advancing to the middle of the board with big pieces, not so much pawns, whereas Donda advancing those pawns on the B and the C file, maybe looking for a castle here over on the queen side there, Skip, or possibly king side. Look, opening up that back line.
yeah, man, really developing those pieces early and now starting to move forward, taking out that knight early, but the knights get traded. Bishop now going forward. Defensive setup though on both sides, both players definitely playing it cautious at the start here.
Sure enough, we do see a castle the side of Peter. And then another castle. Yes, Donda gonna castle as well. And Kings both on that G file now. 39, 30 seconds, 10-second or so advantage here for Donda, Skep.
Yeah, Dondo looking good so far. I like this setup. Peter now having to go aggressive with his queen. Takes the pawn, but the queens get traded. Now
Ooh.
black the only queen on the map, dude. This might be some damage coming into the back line of Peter here.
Yeah. Yeah, the White
And the
Queen going
time
down.
advantage. Time advantage too heavily on the
Ooh.
side of the black pieces there, Thunder.
Yep.
Peter down on pieces and down on time. It looks like 10 seconds to play with. Trying to survive, but it looks like Donda is making it happen. King is trying to run for the hills, but this queen is hunting him down
Woo!
as
On
time
the hunt,
ticks
as you said.
away.
Whoa! There is the finishing move, and Donda will beat Peter in this second round of bullet chess, folks. Wow, this is all happening so quickly. But Skep, we said it at the beginning. What better way to get better at casting chess than to just jump right into it with some bullet chess? And
Oh
and
yeah.
I think that from game number 1 to now, you and I vastly improved.
Yeah, man. I mean, we're quick learners, Thunder. We've been doing it,
Exactly.
all our entire MNVL careers. There's
Yeah.
nothing but a G thing, you know what I'm saying, Thunder? So
Truly.
there it is. But
Truly.
hey, man, that bullet chess, man, it's crazy to see how quickly, I mean, the chessboard develops, right? You're used to it
Mhm.
being such a timely process, but to see, I mean, that backline get developed right away from Dona at the start of that match,
Mm.
immediately taking control of that middle of the board. And then from there, I mean, Peter was kind of left without options. He kept trading pieces, yes, which is okay, but I mean, ended up getting stuck in that corner. And then that queen was hunting him down. And that was
Yeah.
a mean queen. That was
Yeah.
a
Oh,
mean
yeah.
queen, Thunder. That was hey.
Some nastiness happening over there on the left side of the board as we were watching. You said it, the queen kind of just mopping up over there after what we said was, it was you have your advancement out of Donda, right? Playing the black there, the advancement out of the pawns and establishing that part of the middle, that center and ABC file of the board. But for the side of Peter, it was a lot of, it was a lot of moving your bishops and moving knights and things like that out, right? And leaving the pawns behind. It's kind of putting your first line behind your second line and then ended up just disrupting things. The castle comes in a little bit late. A lot of stuff happening there. We have an early castle here on the side of black. That is Matthew up at the top. And then on this bottom side, we have Scolio. That is correct, right?
Yeah, but look at this
Yes,
queen
fantastic.
positioning. Ooh,
Ooh-wee.
a nice takeaway from the rook, though. Drops queens, both queens off the map early here. Working with the rooks, man. A lot of heavy pieces taken out already on the side of white. Only working with one rook as it stands compared to the one bishop and rook on black. So, I mean, dude, we're already down to bare bones in terms of what these players have at their disposal in their, armies. We'll see.
Yeah.
Bishop trying to get out of dodge now as this rook is advancing forward. But
Yeah,
right
I
now,
mean, at this point, it's all down to who can get a clever bit of positioning on the other one, right? Because here you go. I mean, most of the
oh, dude.
pieces off the board,
Yeah,
except for that
Scolio's got 3
castle.
pieces, and that might be
Mhm.
it, honestly, now. He
Yep,
is
there's a queen
running.
back.
Yeah, that's gotta do it very soon here. This queen and king are teaming up to take out white king, and that'll do it. Pin him against the wall. That queen is too dangerous. There's
Yep,
nowhere for that king to run.
it's all
You
over.
know yeah, man, those long legs of the queen really help her when she
Yep,
King, he's slow and old, he's eating a lot of food, so he's taking those
usually
one-step
fat.
squares at a time, usually fat, but it's fair play, he did his time in battle. A noble
Precisely.
king, it's all about the enjoyment that life has to offer at the end of the road, and that's where that king found himself. He was enjoying a little bit too much of life's other pleasures and got caught up by the enemy queen, so, hey, nothing wrong with that. It
I
happens
think
to the
you're
best of us.
I think you're spot on in your analysis there, Skeptor. Absolutely 100%. That pawn going all the way, going the distance, getting the queen back for the side of Matthew, and then finishing it. Oh man, just as you so eloquently and beautifully put it.
Yeah, man.
Oh man, great stuff here in Bullet Chess, folks, and we are having a great time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. It is All Star Weekend here at MNVL, and we are cruising right along through. Next up is, I believe we're moving all the way into, is this round number
This
3
is round
now?
number
It'll
3
be
already, man.
Donda v. Matthew.
Yep, and
Donda v.
Scolio taking
Matthew.
on Peter. Some
And
good
then,
matchups,
yeah,
though.
after that, Scolio Peter. That's right.
Yes, sir.
Here we go.
That is
Let's
what
get
it is
after it.
looking like. Dude, yeah, no,
Super.
for real, though. These have been good matchups so far. I mean, excited to see how the last matchups play up here as we get right back into it. Donda v. Matthew.
Oof. And
Donda
some
on the white,
advancement
Matthew on the black.
DEF file for those pawns, Skep.
Here we go. Bishop's getting out early. Bishop's being the common advancement right behind the knights early here in the bullet chess. That long range.
Yeah, really have been. And trying to. Oh boy. Oh, okay, okay. For a second, I thought that that A5 bishop was in position on the queen, but no, 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 no. Nope. Good stuff. A decent trade between these two players. As they kind of just even this, you can tell that both of these players are just being very, very methodical, even though the time constraints, right? It's almost like you can see him thinking on the board.
Yep.
And Donda, the generator loves the Donda positioning here, and what he has done on this white side of the board, Skep.
This queen advancing onto this rook, and now Donda starting to bleed out some time. Does not know his next move. Moving that queen over now, but I think that rook, oh, not advancing. Now the queen's there to back him up. I like it. And
Oh, and
Donda
there it is.
getting the
Donda
job done, man.
with the win. Throughout that, Skep, the generator just kept kind of chipping away and chipping away and chipping away for the
Hmm.
side of Donda, and you could tell it was because of strong positioning through that middle part of the board, right? And then just kind of maintaining that throughout the rest of the game, throughout the rest of that minute each, and just chipping away, making good trades and then moving from there.
Dude, that's a 3-0 on the bullet chest from Donda. That's a
Playing
clean
great.
sweep from Donda, repping it up, showing that he is the all-star of the bullet chess competition. So excited to see how he fares now coming up in our next segment. I mean, we still have one more bullet chess game to play, but
Hmm.
when we end up coming back, man, that four-player chess Donda, there's going to be a lot of angry players looking to strike back at the bullet chess king.
Yeah, of course, of course, of course. All of those players now going down to Donda, who has performed so well under the time constraints, and under pressure. Last matchup is going to be, as you said, between Scolio and Matthew. Sorry,
Mhm.
Peter.
Peter.
Scolio and Peter is going to be this last matchup. And then we will be going into the four-person chess, which is going to be mayhem, I think. It's
Yeah,
going to be
dude, it's
so,
gonna be
so
nuts. I'm
difficult to try to
excited.
figure out, because when you're getting
Whose
attacked from
pieces
the
are whose?
sides, like, what?
I hope we have 4 different colors, right? Like, am I
Yes.
okay. Alright,
Yes.
awesome. I was gonna say for a second, like, dude, if there's 2 white sets and 2 black sets, I'm not
No.
gonna be able to do
No,
this,
no, no, no,
guys.
no. No,
I
that
was
will
like,
then it's chalked. Then it's definitely
yeah,
chalked.
it's
Then
chalked,
it's
boys.
yeah.
It is.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
Certainly. We may as well I don't know, cast bass fishing.
Give up
Because
at that
we
point.
will have no idea what's going on. But no, we will have an individual color for each of the players as we do that four-person chess matchup. We are getting Scolio and Peter onto the board here, folks, for our final game of bullet chess. There it is. We have Peter on the white side. We have Scolio on the black side of the board, and the players are advancing. Here we go. That knight
Ooh,
making
that
quick
night,
work
man.
over to the middle, but will get
And he's
traded out
going
so,
bye-bye.
so quickly. See you later.
Yeah, man, and that's, no gain yet for Scolio.
Woo.
Scolio's just losing pieces so far, so already we got a couple. He did get that knight,
Did get a
but
knight, but I mean, really just seemed for a second there like it was throwing pieces at the middle of the board, and it
into
just,
the meat grinder, and
yeah,
that's it,
really
man.
nothing happening. And
Wow!
there it is.
Peter
Wow.
sneaks into the back line right in between those pawns and says, "Alright, nowhere to go, king. You're done." That's a quickie.
32 seconds off the board out of 2 minutes total. 32 seconds off the board in total. And that is that. Peter taking the big dub in our last game of bullet chess here, folks. Wow. 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 Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy the action so far. Skeptor, we are about to go to a break and then we're going to get back with this four-person chess, man. How excited are you for four-person chess? Do we have one more game?
Uno
Who's that
mas.
game between? Donda versus Peter. We have one final game. Is this for the champion of bullet chess? Fantastic. Donda v Peter for all the marbles.
Dude,
Will
this one
Peter have what it takes to take down Donda right here, Skep?
this is yeah, this is an interesting one because we saw earlier in the bullet chess matches, this was a close match between the two, but Peter ended up, I think it was just running away with the clock, right? Is what it was, or did Peter run out of time? Is what it was, and Donda ended up putting in the work with the queen. I think is what the play was,
If I
right?
remember correctly, it was time running out on the side of Peter.
Yep,
If I
Peter was
remember
running out of
correctly, but
time,
it was
but
very close. It was within about 5 or less than 10 seconds, I want to say.
yep, and I also think that that was when the game where the queen kinda was taking over at the end of it from Donda. He was kinda tracking Peter down. So, we'll see
Mhm.
Peter definitely gonna have to try to protect his, pivotal pieces early on here in this matchup. Donda has been very aggressive coming out of the gates in all of his bullet chess
Mhm.
matchups, so excited to see kinda how these 2 duke it out again here. Best of 3
Ooh, and
as
it's gonna be
well,
a
so
best of 3. That's right. Nice, nice, nice. Alright, so here it is. The champion of bullet chess here at MNVL All-Stars will be decided now. It is
yeah, man.
Peter v. Donda. Peter coming out with the state championship. That is L. Bloop from SJP, who played in not one but two state championships last weekend. It was absolutely crazy. So GG's and a pleasure to see El Bloop slash Peter here again.
Peter, yeah, yeah, L Bloop. Peter Parker. No, it's L Bloop, actually.
Yep.
No.
That's it. Either way, very talented esports player here at MNVL, and great work, great
Yeah,
work.
man.
Those are the type of players that we're here to celebrate. Skep. All of these
Yeah.
players, every single player who has come out and played. I mean, we had undefeated teams, we had defeated teams, we had, I mean, teams across the board. But again, that's what it takes to be a part of this league. And to everybody who played, every single person who played any one of our esports, we want to thank you. Want to thank you big time.
And
So
here
let's get into
we
it.
go.
Best
Donda
of
on the
three.
white, Peter on the black side, repping it up here, and both these players getting right into it.
Yes, sir.
Pawns
Donda with
moving
some
forward.
early control on the mid, but not anything too aggressive or as aggressive as we have seen before. Now, oh, Peter in great positioning. It seems as though Donda has lost enough pieces that the generator is like, oh. Let's go back to the middle. Very, very even matchup here, Skeptor.
Yeah, dude. The back and forth, and now a little bit of slowing down on the side of Donda. Thinking about that move, opts to bring the bishop back. Knight's now moving forward, and Donda definitely trying to play more defensively now,
Ooh,
taking away
ooh.
that bishop. Peter, what do you have for us next? The queen going out and aggressive. The castle
Yeah.
is in on both sides.
And I wonder here what Donda will do. That is it. That is it. Moving that knight out to attack the queen. Put some pressure on that queen to get her out and get her back towards that black side of the board. Good stuff I'm seeing out of Donda. This has been very back and forth. Very, very back and forth. And now this queen in kind of just an interesting, strange position pinned over there by the pawn and the knight on those A's and B files.
Ooh, the rook pushing forward aggressively, picking up 2 pieces there, but now the queen taking a turn at it. Peter running low on pieces now. Queen
Ooh,
is stuck, and now white moving forward aggressively. And this king is all but trapped here. This bishop, though, causing problems, and that is a W for
woo!
white.
That is it.
Game number one.
Donda coming out with a big dub. Went down there at the beginning, though. Peter looked very, very good as far as position on the board. Took a couple of pieces off of white, right? And we're going to go right back into it. But man, what an effort out of Donda. And now Donda on that black side of the board. Peter on the attacking white side of the board.
Yep.
Generator already loves what Donda is doing. Getting this knight out. The queen will go down, but all the queens are off the board. So now it is a matter of outsmarting your opponent with your lesser pieces and some of your pawns, right? Is
Yeah,
there an
man.
opening here to get a pawn all the way down the file and get your queen back? That is going to play out here over the next 30 to 40 seconds, Scout.
We will see, man. Both these players, though, being aggressive with their bishops and knights right now, trading pieces back and forth. And it's Donda who comes out with the piece advantage right now. Heavy favoritism still over towards his side. But now Peter fighting back a little bit. Still showing some life, trying to go aggressive with the rook. Good counter measurement from the black side. Definitely playing defensively now, supporting his pieces. Peter trying to advance and slowly fighting his way back into this one, Thunder.
Yeah, you said it. Oh, but is it going to be enough? Is this castle going to be enough? Gonna loop around and maybe take out this. No, just gonna take out the pawn right there.
Now this rook starting to advance. The bishop trying to move into a kill position. Defends the rook, and now that rook is going to cause mayhem for those
Oh boy, oh
pawns.
boy, oh boy.
Peter running out of pieces, but Donda running out of time. The clock's against him. He's only got 5 seconds left to play with here, Thunder. He's trying to take out all these remaining white pieces, but Peter needs to stay alive to keep his hopes alive in this best of three. 5 seconds now.
Oh
Three.
boy.
It's back and forth. The players are moving so quickly, trying to keep their clocks alive, man.
It's down to the
The
wire.
time goes the way of
Oh!
Donda.
That's
Donda
it.
takes it
Woo!
2-0. What a
Donda with the
victory.
dub. That is it. Wow, a big, big win, and that's 2 in a row for Donda. What I mean, Donda clearly must spend some time on the bullet chest or is just firing on all cylinders today because,
Yeah, man,
man, I
feeling
tell
it
you, Skep,
tonight.
going fully undefeated through the day and just making it happen. Wow, wow, wow. That was something. What are your thoughts, my man?
Dude, I mean, it went better than I thought. I thought the players did great. Donda showing up and showing out on that bullet chest, though, really, really. I mean, 5-0 on the day, right? Perfect record, played great in all the matches, and always had the strategic advantage. It felt like, knew what the game
Mhm.
plan was and ended up figuring out a way to close out.
Yep. Yep, you said it. That is really what it came down to was key decision making and management of the time, right? For the side of Donda and each no matter where he was on the board, black or white side of the board, he found a way even if the generator gave him a little bit of maybe like a, 1 or 2 star review over there. It still ended up going back in his favor because he was able to play the long game, even in the short game. That was bullet chess. And that's it for that part there, folks. Donda taking the championship here in bullet chess at MNVL All Stars. Congratulations and GG's. Folks, we're going to go to a quick break. And when we come back, we will have 4-player chess. What type of mayhem is going to happen on the board when we have 4 different color pieces? We have no idea, but Skep and I are ready to cast it. We'll be back shortly, folks. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the MNVL All-Star Weekend. It is chess right now, folks. My name is Thunder McFadden, and I am joined by my man Skeptor. Skep, it has been quite the night so far when it comes to bullet chess. We have our champion, that is Donda. And now we are going into the four-player chess game. And we might have one or two or a couple of these, depending upon how much time we have. But man, I am excited to see how these players go ahead and think when there are extra pieces and extra space on the board.
Yeah, man, I'm right there with you, Thunder. I mean, four sets of pieces is gonna be a lot. I mean, these players are gonna have a lot on the table at all times, and I mean that literally, right?
Mhm.
Like there's gonna be a lot going on.
Yep, most certainly. And this is nothing like we have actually ever cast before, you and I. So,
Yeah.
very excited to get into it, folks. We thank you all for being here and hanging out with us tonight and this weekend for All Star Weekend at MNVL. We couldn't do it without you. So, we appreciate you. Thank you to everybody, all of you that support us here at MNVL. And speaking of that, why don't you go ahead and follow, if you're not already following, go ahead and follow MNVL on all social media so you can keep up with the rest of the weekend. Also, our winter series tournaments that are kicking off in January. That's going to be awesome. And then next season, we've got some things that we are mixing up and we are just continuing to improve what we have here as far as the stream and content and what we deliver here at MNVL. It's going to be sick. And next season, Skep, next season is going to be a banger. And hopefully, this is something too I do want to mention. Hopefully, we do have chess again next season. It is something that we have had, it's not the most popular of our esports, but our players that play it, they do love to play. So if you are a chess player or you have a chess program at your school and you want to get into MNVL and you want to compete right here with the best of them, great. We would love to have you. So clip that and send it to your friends who play chess. How about that?
Oh yeah,
Let's
perfect.
do it.
That
Yep.
is perfect, man. That's all you need. Man, but this four-player chess, dude, that's really what we're about to get into, man. I'm
Mm,
excited to see, does white still get to move first? I'd
I would
assume
believe so.
so, right? The
I would
other
think
two
so.
colors just get thrown kind of
Yeah.
near the end of the line. Sorry,
White, then off-white, then gray, then black, then
maybe.
is that how it goes?
Then off-white. I like that.
Then yes, white, then dark white,
Yeah,
then
cream. I
light
don't know.
black, gray, and then black. And then we cycle through again. We will figure it out. We know it. We know we will, folks. And these players will get on the board here relatively shortly. So, strategy wise, you have to deal with attacks coming from all over the place. I mean, think about I know you've been playing some chess lately. I have played just a little bit, right? I can't imagine getting onto a board and having three other queens to deal
That's
with
what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm
instead
saying.
of one. I already have so much trouble dealing with one.
Yeah,
I'm like, man, what am I even doing here? Trying to defend against one. And now I got three on the board coming from any angle whatsoever.
yeah,
Like,
man.
please get me out of that situation. I'm scared. I'm too nervous to be getting into something like that, Skep.
Yeah, dude, I wouldn't want to be there either, Thunder. So I'm happy to be sitting out on this one and just getting to spectate the bloodbath that these queens are about to unleash on this board. I mean, dude,
Hmm.
the only thing that would make this better if this was some Harry Potter, magic chess where we saw the pieces actually picking up and going at it,
Yeah.
picking up the battle axe or something ridiculous. But hey, man,
Yep.
that's
You
for a
said it.
different time.
Expelliarmus, man, I tell you,
Yeah, there you
100%, you
go.
know it. I know the spells. Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. We're gonna get into it. Four-person chess here, folks, for MNVL All-Stars. And again, we're celebrating the players tonight. Having a good time, celebrating the season. It was the biggest season we've ever had in MNVL, so thank you all for being a part of it and for enjoying what we have here. We enjoy what we do. We really love it. It's a lot of hard work, but we're willing to put it in and to do it for these students and for what we have here as a league. So yeah, like I said before, if you know people who are interested in chess, let them know that we have a league here that they can sign up for. And a lot of big things, big things coming here for Winter Series in January. We know, and as we've talked about games kind of, you know, coming in and coming out of our league and that sort of thing, we had Overwatch, and then we did not do Overwatch in and replace it with Valorant, right? And then now this winter series, Skep, we're gonna have a Halo tournament.
Yep.
We're gonna have a couple other tournaments, including League. Are we not gonna have a League tournament?
Yeah, a league
Right?
invitational
Woo.
is what we will be having. That is
Yeah.
gonna be pretty sick, honestly. You know what? Who knows? Maybe even I'll make an appearance on the refs. I mean, dude, listen, League of Legends it's been a shame that we haven't been able to have more of it, but times are changing and that might be a possibility in the near future. Having this
Mhm.
invitational is always fun though. So hopefully we get as many teams to sign up for that as we can. I think 14 is the cap. So who
Mhm.
knows, man? Who knows?
Yeah.
So lots of stuff to look forward to though. That MNVL Winter Series is going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really sick. And it's going to be an awesome opportunity again for players to go ahead and play during the off season. There are some players who haven't been able to be part of the league, just discovered the league either through their friends or through their school or something like that. They want to start a team at their school. So they're going to participate in the winter series. I know there have been a couple of players that I've seen not only on our streams, but also my personal stream who have been talking about how excited they are for the winter series.
Yeah,
They're
man. I
talking
mean,
about it, man. They're on Twitch talking about it. They're like, "Man, let's go. Let's get
no,
into it."
dude.
We've got Call of Duty players that are like, "I can play Halo. I've been playing Halo. So let me get the controller in my hand and I'm gonna prove that I can play Halo here over the winter." You know what I mean?
Yep,
These
that's
players are ready to
exactly
go.
what it is. Yeah,
And so
dude.
that I think is gonna set off where we head towards next season, man. It's gonna be exciting.
I agree, man. I mean, one of the most notable, I think, introductions we got last season was Saber, right? Saber didn't play in Rocket League season,
Mhm.
showed up, made his debut at the Winter Series, and then came in the next season and won the entire thing for
Yep.
Rocket League. So, I mean, the Winter Series is 100% where a debut can happen. It may not be a normal regular season, it may not be, your normal teammates, but hey, that is still a place where you can pop up and make a bang and make a name for yourself, right? That's like for real. That's getting into the game
100%.
very shortly, folks. That is right. 4-player chess right around the corner, man. I am ready to go. And
Let's
we
get
are
it.
getting ready to look
Let's
at
do
this
it.
board.
Oh
What
man!
is that thing, man?
Look
I
at
don't
that
want to
board.
look at that.
Do we need to do we
Oh,
go to a full board maybe? Is there a way
all
we
right.
can just get the because we can if we have to sacrifice the cameras and get the full board, we can do that. But either way,
Oh,
okay.
yeah. Working on it.
We got Peter up there in the yellow. We have
Yep.
got is that right? Yes.
Oh, it's 4-player bullet. These guys all have a minute or no? Am I trolling?
Yeah.
A
A
minute to
minute to
make
make
each move.
each move.
Ah, yeah, yeah. Makes sense.
Yes.
A lot more
There it
sense.
is.
Dang, dude. This is what it looks like. We got the sorry board busting out the red, blue, yellow, and green.
Yeah, it's ridiculous right here. So Peter in yellow, Donda in green, Matthew in red, Peter, no, sorry. Scolio in the blue.
Yep, Scolio blue.
Woo wee! And some early aggression with the bishop out of Peter up there on the yellow side of the board of the plus board. This looks
Gosh,
like a
yeah, man.
really, really big version of my crosshair, actually.
The plus board.
I love it.
Whew.
Here we are on the plus board, folks. We're playing some chess. It's all stars. Thank you for being here. Who is moving? We have got it's Scolio move right now. Making a decision to take that knight out and get some positioning. And now
God,
on to
this is so
Peter.
interesting.
Here, Skep. Peter up there in the yellow. I always say this, but here at Minnesota Varsity League, we have literally the greatest production staff of all time. I don't know if you noticed, folks, but the Chess Plus has been completely and perfectly resized, beautifully centered, all while we are watching this go. I'm casting our production, changing the board on screen, and it is hype, man.
Dude, Donda's seriously only moved one piece this entire game so far. That pawn just keeps moving his way towards the middle of the map,
That's
dude.
true.
That's literally the
I
only
hadn't seen
piece
that
that
yet.
Donda has moved this
So
entire game.
good. So good.
That pawn's on a one-man mission today. One-man army. Let's do it. Wait, he
Unbelievable.
already got a queen off that. He's big brain. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Somebody
sheesh.
knows the hidden rules, bro. Because that little
So
pawn that I was just talking about turned into a dang queen.
so now, Skeptor, there are 5 queens on the board, Skep.
That queen's about
5!
to go on a terrorizing
4
spree,
players,
is what's going to happen.
5 queens. Call it a day. Green, it's Donda on the big brain play. Just and we said it. We had no idea. What is this? I mean, this pawn is just
Lone
kind of
pawn.
just trotting along. Do 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 do. I'm just heading to the middle of the board. No biggie. Nope.
Yeah, no,
Don't nobody mind me. But now
my
you're gonna mind
goodness.
me because now I'm a
Yeah,
queen.
now everybody's looking at that thing like, "Oh my goodness,
Yep.
I'm not going near the middle of that board." And now Donda, dude, if I'm Donda, I'm sending my next pawn to the middle.
Yeah. Let her
Dude,
rip, man. Why not?
we're farming this thing, man. We got a queen out there protecting the middle.
That
My
is
goodness.
something. Now, you don't want to go ahead and leave that queen out there too long, right? Kind of out in the middle of the mix of things. You don't want to just be doing that. You want to be strategic about it. But if anybody will be strategic, it will be Donda, right?
Yep,
Donda, we know, an absolute wizard. To go back to the Harry Potter references, an absolute wizard here
yep.
on the boards.
And now he's starting to move that pawn out. Takes 2 steps forward. And Matthew realizing that something's up, man, trying to get these pieces moving.
Sure enough,
We've
I
only
wish,
lost one piece so far, and it was that one bishop that our boy Scolio just snagged. He just went
yes,
hyper
snagged
aggressive with.
off of Matthew.
Yep, Matthew lost to bishop. That is the
Yes.
only. Oh, and look at that move from Donda, putting Peter in check.
Woo!
Dang, man. I
And we
mean,
we
Donda
see the
trying to take
lineup.
out Peter early. That's kind of that sour taste is still left in his mouth. And look at this. Now Scolio's moving through Matthew's backline, man. This is why four-player chess actually is super interesting because
Yeah.
you're just gonna start getting attacked from a different village. Is
Yep.
basically what it is. You have
Exactly.
no say in the matter.
It is just mayhem. We saw the similar type of mayhem on the Minecraft map when we were playing that 8-person free for all. Here we have a 4-person free for all basically on the Chess Plus board.
Yeah, dude. Chess
Beautiful stuff.
plus, and
We love it.
I'm
Chess
still
Plus here at MNVL.
I'm still brain blown by the Matthew or not Matthew Donda push in the middle of the map and getting the queen right away,
Yep. Yep.
and now still pressuring Peter in this corner. And finally, Matthew silences that push from Scolio.
Yeah, sure enough. And it's Scolio's move here. Is Scolio going to find does Scolio have a way to take out that knight? I don't think so. Going to move his knight out. Is he about a challenge?
Potentially. That bishop could just snag that
Yeah, I'm
knight
trying
though
to
if he
see if
wants.
because is that the bishop's really not protected over here. Now, but the queen making an attack, I think maybe on this queen, trying to get one of Donda's 2 queens out of the situation here, Skep.
Ooh, Donda falls back, but Matthew goes aggro on the push there, grabs a pawn, and now that queen is tucked in. And look at that push.
Oh boy.
Whew, that's a queen taken away. Scolio in first place right now. Thunder with eliminations up at 19 right now. I mean,
Wow.
that's some work coming out from Scolio.
Sure is.
A rook, a bishop, and a queen to the kill tally right now for the side of
Yeah.
Scolio. I mean, I'll take it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. That is great stuff. If you are Scolio right now, but still we have Donda with that 2 queen situation
Yep.
attacking the other
Oh,
queen, and the board has gone ghost. It's gone rogue. The
we just.
board has gone, and it's back. The
Yep.
board went to the ether and then came back. It went to just a different part of the internet, and now it is back here with us. Thank you.
That must have been Scolio calling in a kill streak that he's picked up from so
I
many
think
points
so.
so far.
Yep.
I
Blind
think.
board. Is that the
Yep.
kill streak? Blind
Blind
board.
board,
You
EMP,
get at 19 or 16
blackout.
points, whatever it might be.
Either way.
Yep.
Either way. What do we have here now? As Scolio getting pressured now by Matthew's queen a little bit. Does he move this knight? I mean, his knight is in danger from two other pieces right now. So like,
Right. But if you get it out of there, you know what I mean, where are you taking it to and what are you doing with it? Right?
right. That's what I'm trying to figure out, man. I'm trying to see, and
Is
now
it
decides
is
to
the
pull the
move
bishop back.
maybe to get it I mean, you could that blue knight you could head into if you headed into the yellow zone, you would be putting that king in check. Take that blue knight up into Peter's third line up there. Now it is Matthew's move. Ooh, retreating that queen, getting out of the situation. What are your thoughts on that, Skep?
I think it's smart, man. It's getting a little bit too colorful for me. You got blue and yellow up there, and you really have no supporting cast on Matthew's red squad, so it's smart to definitely pull that queen back and wait for some reinforcements.
Yeah.
Oh, and a nice take there with the bishop adding to the tally. Peter now getting involved. Peter still has that knight stranded in no man's land, all the way mixed up with those Scolio pieces. So, gonna have to figure out how that knight develops in a bit of a tricky spot, though, right now, for sure.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it isn't maybe like, do you go ahead and move it across and maybe take out that pawn?
Oh, look at that move from Matthew. He
Woo!
goes right back aggressive with the queen. I mean,
Sure
I will
enough.
say that yellow knight is not in danger right now. As I said that though, Scolio can take it with this bishop now. He's finally moved his bishop back into position to take out that knight if he wants to. So we'll see. Now Peter's in check though from this Matthew queen. So he's gonna have to go defend his base. Yup, and that bishop takes out that lone knight and now defends his king with his own bishop. And that honestly, Peter's in a little bit of trouble, man. He's been getting bullied by some queen play early here.
Yeah.
Danny, or not Danny, Donda leading the charge early, and then Matthew following up and now retreating that queen again. A lot of queen pressure, and Peter is not liking it.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, it really, at the end of the day, there has been so much and I'm interested by this again, another retreat from Matthew. Uh Look to have good positioning on the queen, but then as you said before, right? That bishop getting in the mix and getting in the way. Oh, and aggression out of Scolio right here.
Aggression on all ends now. Scolio pushing forward into Matthew's side of territory, and Matthew putting his bishop all the way now into Donda's backline. So interested to see how this plays out. Donda could just take that bishop with his own bishop, though, if he wants to eliminate Matthew's pressure.
Yeah. Is
We
that what is going to happen
will
right
see.
here? 23 seconds left for Donda. Trying to decide what that next move is, Scott.
Hmm. And that's I like that play though. The queen sliding over and taking out that bishop. Now Matthew and Peter on the struggling end so far, considering terms of pieces lost. Those two
Mm-hmm.
players leading the way in that charge, whereas Donda and Scolio on the lesser receiving end so far. Only three pieces lost between the two of those players.
Yeah, just a couple of them. And to be clear to everybody here, the timer is the circle that is ticking away. And each one of these players is going to get 1 minute of extra time or overtime, right? So now chipping away at that is Matthew. That 50 now seconds will chip away until he makes a move, and then that will stop there. It will not go back to a minute. At once that time is extinguished, it's goodbye. You are then you're done. Another aspect of this that you have to pay attention to, otherwise it'll come back to bite you.
Yep. I mean, Peter is still the only player rocking a full minute up top. Ooh, and now Scolio goes aggressive with that queen and jumping right into the thick of it. Peter thinking
Gonna
about
start
his
working on
option.
his. extra time here, but where is Peter gonna move? Is he gonna advance on Donda anymore? Is he gonna try to move his king somewhere? No, gonna retreat just a
Moves the
touch.
knight away.
Yeah, under
Donda's
pressure from
ran
this
a
other
lot of his
knight.
time, man.
Yeah,
Honestly, like that barrier is still helpful. You still definitely have enough time to make a move in the time of your barrier time, but down to 14 seconds here is kind of interesting to find Donda that low on time already.
and to your point, that low on time, especially in reference to the rest of the players on the board, for Donda to
Oh
already
my
be that
goodness.
low on the ticker, and after performing so well all day, right? Pretty surprising, as you said.
Dude, that's a second queen grab now by Scolio, dude. Up to
Ooh!
35 points, man. That is some exceptional play out of Scolio, thriving in this four-player chess right now. The mayhem, man.
Oh boy, and Donda, will Donda get a move off down under 10 seconds? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. When you've got two players with 40 plus seconds on the board, that is really something for Donda, but still in this thing as Scolio making a move here. Scolio with a pretty decent defense. A castle clearly earlier so that that king is up nicely in the corner for Scolio, and but that queen is so
Mhm.
deep in enemy territory right now.
Yeah, man. I'm
And
looking at that too, but as time's ticking away, Thunder, we might be looking at another 10 seconds and moves the queen back one is what we get there.
I wonder, honestly, on that one, moving the queen back there, you move it into the path of that green pawn.
I think
Is that not in the path of the green pawn right there? Wouldn't you want to move it the other direction to take out that bishop
yeah, you
underneath?
no, you
I'm a
take
little
out the
scared.
bishop.
Donda could just take this queen right now. Isn't that not right?
I think you take out that bishop below. I think that was the move,
Oh,
but
there we go. We had
somehow
another move.
gets
That's what it is.
back and gets to safety with that
Whew.
queen. Yeah, man. Don't know, either not realizing it or something there because missed an opportunity to take out that Scolio queen.
Yeah.
And now he gets back to safety, man. Blue is playing this game so well right now. And now all three other players feel like they're hurting and they're worse for wear. I mean, Donda still has his bishops, but running out of time. You're looking at one knight and a rook on the side of Matthew. You're looking at two rooks, a queen, and a knight on the side of Scolio. So definitely has the assets and the ability to close out on this one, right? Like you have everything you
Certainly.
could ask for. Peter
Yeah,
only has a
definitely
bishop and a rook. I
enough
lied, two rooks.
enough in the mix. I think the only person really out there who is truly hurting for pieces, well, I guess both Matthew and Peter are hurting a little bit for pieces. Donda and Scolio looking decent still with queens on the board. So you got big pieces out there. Everybody still with something
Matthew's
in the mix.
definitely got
So
the worst options for
who is
himself
that?
right now. Matthew is red. He only has
No, I
one
couldn't
knight.
hear which name you said.
Oh,
That's
oh,
all.
you're good. You're
Yeah.
good. Oh, and now starting to lose some pawns. Scolio going aggressive again, man. Matthew gonna have to try to survive, man. It's been tough losing out a lot of those pieces. And look at that. It's mainly come from Scolio. I mean, look at that red collection he's got brewing down there.
Oh
That
yeah.
is 5 red pieces taken by Scolio. I mean, Peter has taken 4 of Donda's greens, but Donda has also taken 4 yellows. So those two have been having their own match, going on
Yeah.
up there. So I think Matthew just needs to start trying to lay on some hurt onto Scolio, right? Like you're now Peter's in check again.
Oh
Donda's
boy.
advanced his second queen now back up into Peter's territory and starting to pressure him with that queen again.
And he's only got one place that he can move that king. You cannot move it anywhere except that yellow spot just immediately between that pawn and that bishop. So Peter's got to make
Oh
this
my
move.
goodness, look at that
Oh,
move. Look at that move. That's the
that's it.
last night right there. I mean, that's
Done.
Matthew Matthew doesn't have many more options. Starting to go aggressive with this rook now, but I mean Scolio is up to 64 points now, Thunder.
Yeah, and Peter's
Absolutely
off the board, my man.
absurd. Oh, and Peter's off the
Yep.
board.
Just a moment ago, when there was action on Matthew's side of the board,
That's the thing.
Peter's king got taken. It was a checkmate
I was
from
looking.
Donda. So
Oh
boom,
my goodness,
that's
you're
all
right,
over
Thunder.
up there.
You're right, dude. And this piece is gray out. That's an early exit from Peter. Got bullied by those queens and it came back to haunt him. I mean, that's the crazy thing, man. I'm staring at the bottom half of the board watching this develop, and Peter got taken out. Now
Yep.
Scolio going back aggressive with this blue queen. Man, Scolio putting up numbers comparatively to everybody else. That is insane.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have thought it, right? Scolio didn't even come out with a game in the bullet chess. Granted,
Yeah.
bullet chess, you only have that minute, so you like not
Right.
trying to compare that to normal chess, but thriving right now on the four-player chess.
Yep.
Matthew,
Well,
no, you can continue. What were you
no,
gonna say?
not at all. I mean, all of these players, right? All of these players, they played very well in the state tournament and they play very well throughout the season, right? So when you get into a situation like bullet chess, right? Sometimes the stress or the pressure is not going to be is going to be putting the player in a position where they're not showing everything that they're capable of. You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah,
now for Scolio to be performing this well, great stuff. All of these players having a great time.
yeah. Matthew's still looking worse for wear right now. Only that rook and a few pawns to play with. I mean, Scolio still has so many pieces that are just not even in play right now. Like he's just carrying the game right now with this queen. It feels like for so much of the recency of this game, he's just been moving that queen around and taking out pieces left and right. Matthew trying to get something developed, but it feels like at this point, I mean, he's a sit and duck. Now that knight aggressing and moving into that red territory, this is trouble. But now Donda's queen moving in for the kill shot puts Matthew in check.
Sure does. Ooh, and Matthew now on the
Scolio's
defensive, on the retreat, gonna start
goes
losing some
aggressive.
pretty essential pieces, and this does not look like a very favorable attack from Scolio on Matthew, but as Scolio is moving over, now
In check.
in check, and it is mate, I do believe. Donda getting the checkmate on Scolio, because Scolio can't move any. Oh, nope, can move that one spot. That's
But
it.
now I think that's it now. He's just gonna move that. Yep, done.
That's it.
Scolio eliminated. 73 points. Kiss it goodbye. Third
Woo!
place is where you finish, man. If you can't protect that king. And now Matthew, bro, I mean, honestly, it feels like he is the lamb to the harvest at this point. He is
Sure
going to
enough.
get picked apart. He managed to get that pawn to the middle, though, and
See
finds
it?
a queen
You
again.
see it? It's a queen. Now, what an essential piece to put back on the board
Yes.
to get your pawn all the way out to the mid like that. Boom. Now,
Huge play out
this
of
thing
Matthew.
is just even up again.
He
I
knew
mean,
that.
Donda having that castle and having that bishop still in play gonna mean a lot as he tries to pin down Matthew. But still, what a great move out of
Yep.
Matthew to get
Oh, but
these.
now
Oh,
going
we
check. That queen gets taken out, though. A good move there now. If
sure
Matthew
enough.
could start putting in some work with this queen, I mean, Donda's against the clock, right? So it is on Matthew to start kind of hard carrying this game with this queen. A
Yeah,
little bit of a slip up
certainly,
now.
and it
Donda burning that clock.
it looked so,
Scary.
so good for Donda there, it really did, but then I don't know if it was just a mishap or didn't see, the pawn in that, diagonal space, whatever, but that seems like that queen went down too easily, Skeptor.
Yep. Yeah, losing that queen might come back to hurt Donda. Still has
Yeah.
the advantage though when it comes down to the pieces. So gonna have to play it right. The only thing is this clock right now. I got my eyes peeled on this clock every time
Yep.
Donda's turn comes up, man. He's playing it down to the wire. So eventually, oh, he's now moving to that pawn to the middle, trying to get another piece back into this game. I mean, he already claimed one queen back. What more could Donda pull? Dude, that I mean, at the start of this match, pulling that first queen was still sick. Oh, but look at the aggression coming out
Uh-huh.
from Matthew, getting up personal, up on top of this bishop now, looking to
Yeah,
wreak
and
some
I
havoc.
think if Matthew plays the pieces right, can take out a couple of essentials here from Donda over the next few minutes. Wow, Donda in check will go out by placing that pawn in between.
Now he's blocking the middle. I like it. Good play out of Matthew.
Wants to make sure that Donda doesn't get that queen back. Wouldn't want that.
Dude, and Matthew is almost playing this to perfection right now. Holding the line so far.
There's
And
another
another
queen.
queen.
No way.
Matthew making the moves right now. The pawns are moving in for the kill. And just like that, I mean, might be able to put the finishing moves on. King back in check. Donda scrambling to survive. And both these queens are in for the hunt, Thunder. This is trouble coming up the way of Donda. The clock is against him. The
Yep.
pieces are against him. These queens are making it happen right now.
Oh boy, and it
And
is
it's
only a
one
matter of
piece
time
left.
here, Skep. The hunt is on, and this king is trying desperately to get out of the way, but it is a simple matter of time. Just
Yeah, it's a
walk the
simple matter of time.
king
Keep
all the
walking him.
way back down. It's a matter of
Yeah, dude.
4, then 3, then 2, then 1 moves, and these queens will have Donda pinned. Oh, wait. What an effort. What an effort out of Matthew to not get down, not get discouraged, and to get completely set in this situation. That's a big dub for Matthew.
Oh,
Woo! Wow. What a great matchup, Skep. That was fantastic. And a lot of changes in direction, a lot of changes as far as who had the power in each situation. It really looked great for Donda for a while throughout there with that 2 queen setup, but Matthew kind of said, "Hey, I'm going to pull your own move against you here at the end
yeah. And two
to
queen,
go
yeah.
ahead and take that dub." That was crazy, man.
Dude, yeah, and to think that Matthew was in like the worst spot going into the final four there, right? Like piece wise,
Yep.
Matthew was down bad considering what all the other players still had at their disposal. So a big ups to Matthew to pull that one back. I mean, really pulling a rabbit out of the hat on that first game there,
Yep.
Thunder.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff to play the long game like he did. Matthew coming out with that massive win. And I wondered, do we have time for another one of these games? Should we play another one of these? I think we
I mean,
do.
it's 5-10. I think we
Why
could run
not?
another. We could run another.
Yeah,
If
if
both
these
players
players
are
want to
wanting to
play
hop
another one,
into
let's
it. Let's
do
do
it.
another.
Let's go for it. It is All Star Weekend, folks. Thank you for being here. Thanks for coming to spend your time with us and hang out with us as we celebrate these players, their families, their coaches, their schools, and everyone who participated in MNVL throughout the season, everyone who has supported us in so many different ways along this road and this journey that we have all been on together. It has been awesome, and we appreciate you all so darn much. Oh, it almost hurts. It feels great though to have people like you who support us and play in our league and all of that. So thank you so much. Let's go ahead and let's have another one. Another 4-person chess battle here, Skeptor. Very, very exciting. Going to
Yeah,
be
dude. I
in
mean,
just a sec.
four-player chess honestly is better than normal chess. Like, I'm just gonna say it, right?
Now,
Watching four-player chess is like, dude, there's some exciting stuff going on because there's so much like that you have to take in, right? Like it. I mean, maybe it's not fun to be in there, right? When you're getting attacked by as many queens as we just saw. I mean, Thunder, what was that? 5, 6 queens, or was it a total of 7? Right? It was something just absurd. Now, as
yeah,
we get back into it, folks, every one of these players rocking their same color from last game as we get right back underway. And now I think everybody has a better idea of what they want to get going at the start of this game. Now, everybody
hmm
trying to develop some pawn work and pawn play at the start of this one. I mean, we saw, I think it was everybody but Donda was developing early. I mean, well, there it is. Matthew sticking to that knight, and now the bishop coming out. I think Donda's gonna keep moving that pawn though. Something
Yep,
tells me,
I
man.
think so.
Uh,
Donda wants the middle of the board, wants to go ahead and make it right. Make it right what happened last time because Donda had, I mean, had so much of the board in control, had so many things going his way. And then at the very end, Matthew, right? Kind of a come from behind victory for our player down there in red uh against Donda. It was really great there at the end. So let's see. I wonder if Donda can go ahead and get this second queen and then really make something happen with it. Oh boy. A
Yeah,
check
so
now.
yeah, that's a check for Peter, but moves that knight in front to block any kind of harm coming that way. Donda advances that pawn again, still trying to push out and be first to the middle. Now Matthew already kind of burning into his time a little bit here. Um, thinking about the early game, right? Thinking
Yeah.
about what he's wanting to do, decides to be very defensive with the early castle.
And I don't think you want to get too concerned about time right now, but you don't want to burn all of it, obviously, right? You want to
Yep,
make sure that you are maintaining a consistent pace throughout the game and make sure you're not just torching the clock, right? You can't do
right.
that.
For sure cannot be torching the clock. Come on, that's going to be required in the later rounds of this matchup. And now Donda one piece away from putting this to the middle and being a queen. Right, that's what we're looking at here. One more move until that pawn gets queened, and it is Scolio to pick up the first elimination.
Woo!
Going aggressive towards Peter early. Peter picking off, I believe it was a bishop.
Hmm.
Bishop for knight was the trade.
It
And
sure
now
was.
Donda
And
found a queen.
Scolio has proven throughout this all-star night that he is ready to take pieces off the board.
Yeah,
Right? And especially when we're sitting here, we are on the plus board, the famous plus board here at MNVL. Scolio likes to take pieces, likes to get out and get aggressive and start taking pieces. There's that queen for Donda. Yep, another
yeah,
double
dude.
queen to the side of Donda.
Interested to see how you play it, right? Because you run that queen out and or you run that pawn out into the middle of the map, and then that little pawn turns into a big queen, and it's like, all right, well, the world's at my fingertips. I can go anywhere, but at the same time, you don't have many options open to you because there's threats all around you, right? Like it's a tricky spot to be in.
Yeah, certainly very, very tricky. It's not, you think of so much. Uh, the linear paths of everything in the game of chess, right? Even
Yes.
just at the baseline, your lines that you have to think about, right? On your diagonals, on your verticals and horizontals, those are you're multiplying that not just it's by 3 or by 4, the number of players on the board. It's by a factor, by some ridiculous factor or exponent that you have added lanes, added lines on this board in places where other players can attack you from. So you have to be on top of it. You really, really have to be thinking not only about your next moves, but the next moves of 3 other people.
Yeah,
Not
man, it
used to
is.
that in regular
It's
chess, obviously.
it's a
Crazy.
tough spot to be in, man. It is for sure a tough spot to be in. Because like you said, it's not one other opponent. It is three other opponents. And it is, a total of six bishops trying to find my king. Six rooks looking to find my king, whatever it may be. I mean, you got pawns turning into queens left and right here as well, Thunder. So I mean, it's just as we get into it, it
Mhm.
gets tougher and tougher as Matthew looked the strongest he had looked in the whole game last game near the end when he had developed his pawns and turned them into queens at the end. So, like, frankly, it comes down to who can protect their pieces well in the early game and kind of get that developing once people start getting taken out. So, and that's what Matthew has fully done here. Has not opted to go aggressive at all, has just been building up his defenses, right? Put
Yep.
some pieces out in front, but overall, a nice barrier protecting his squad so far.
Yep.
Where you know, Scolio doing a uh, similar approach. Same with Peter. Donda, the only kind of outlier in terms of pushing out and being aggressive, right? Going for that early queen, and now thinking about his moves.
Absolutely. Yeah, and Matthew down there, as you said, setting up that defense, castling, and just getting everything sort of fortified down there. Matthew playing the long game well in. our first four-person chess battle, and now doing the same thing here. I like what I'm seeing. I like each one of these players is kind of playing it slow and playing it quote unquote safe, but they're all doing it in their own way. They're all doing it in very different and unique ways, right?
Donda's already below 10 seconds here, Thunder.
Yeah. And we saw this last time. Donda was the first one to burn time, right?
Yep. Man. What does Scolio move next? Does he decide to
Hmm.
develop a little bit? Knight comes out. Okay. Everybody's playing so defensive at the start of this one. This is interesting. This is not as tradey as we were seeing it, in that first matchup. A lot of people were kind of like, "Hey man, I'll go attack this side. I'll go over here, take a gander."
Hmm.
But so far everybody really staying close to home,
Yeah,
playing it
truly.
smart. Now
Just
Scolio
taking the
goes
time.
aggro with the knight. I like it.
Taking their time here. It is on to Donda, folks. Donda with 9.6 seconds left. What is the move for this player in green? Is it going to be there it is. All right. The pawn coming out to answer this knight being here and up in the mix.
Matthew moving the pawn forward. Yeah, man, minimal development so far. And now Scolio going aggressive, taking out that front pawn of Peter. Now moves that king back into safety. Was in check momentarily. Gets out of it though.
You know, I'm noticing here, Skeptor, a very important part of the board that obviously we would not normally. Oh, and it's a check. It is a check up there for Peter.
Yeah, I think the only move right
Oof.
now is to move that queen in front and protect the
Yep.
king. Or no, 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 he can jump forward too. He can
Yep.
jump forward up to the left there. But I mean that he's pressured right now. All it takes is Donda sliding that queen over, and he might be mated. Or no, he can still tuck back into that back left corner, but Peter's not in a good spot right now. That is for sure. You definitely don't want to be feeling this kind of heat from two different players. And now that queen moves forward too. And that
Mm-hmm.
makes me feel bad for Peter, man, because now you're getting circled by some hungry sharks, man.
Yep.
A knight, a bishop, and two queens, both on opposing teams. I mean, it feels like Scolio and Donda are working together right now to take Peter out.
Yeah,
I mean,
almost. Almost. Yeah, I mean, and at the end of the day, who knows, you know?
who
It is
knows?
a matter of feeling out the board,
There it
feeling
is.
out
The
the
queen's gone.
opponents. Boom. Oh, and
But
we've got
now
another check. We have two checks on the
Matthew
board right now, Skep.
Matthew helping his teammate out. Peter, both the SJP boys.
Oh
Matthew brings the
boy.
attack home to Donda. But now look at this. Scolio goes aggressive with the queen. Oh my goodness. Peter is in trouble. Donda's got to take care of his own base, though. He's got to go home and protect the king. He does. Now it's up to Matthew to strike. What comes out next? Back in check. I saw what you did to my fellow classmate, Peter. You will pay for this. You
I
will
will
pay for
avenge
these
thee
sins, Donda.
on the board. Yes, indeed. And it is now Scolio's move. Scolio backing that queen out. But does Scolio not just back that queen out into the path of that pawn for Peter right here? Is Peter not just going to go ahead and take this queen? Is there another move? Am I missing something?
Peter walks forward.
Interesting. The queen is there for the taking. I do not know if that is maybe just a matter of, I started to say this before. The clock corner for each one of these players, right? The inside of where that plus sign is, on the corner of the clock, going on the angle to your opponent is such a important part of the board, Skep. And
Right.
it provides for opportunities. So there's a potential that Peter was not taking that queen because Peter wanted to leave that pawn there for protection, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, who knows? There's a few different things that play into it. I mean, not taking that queen though is surely interesting. As now Scolio back over here on this aggressive side. I mean, now Donda is in check again, man, having to move this king around like crazy recently. Instead, it puts the knight forward, and Scolio loses his queen like that. Matthew moves in for the kill and say sayonara to the blue queen. She joins Peter's yellow queen in the depths. Good take there now.
Sure is. And Donda chipping away at that timer. Donda looking pretty great on points here at this point. But I mean, that queen has been out in the middle of the board, just kind of menacing, just like holding there. And I wonder what the motivation is for that. Or do you start either bringing the queen back and then formulating an attack on one either red, blue, or green? Or sorry, red, blue, or yellow?
Hold back in check, man. I'm interested to see how it's going, man, because Matthew now, his queen is kind of stranded out over there. Uh, really isolated comparatively to the rest of his squad. His team is still almost entirely bunched up down in his zone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So
very true.
interested to see how this plays out, man. Moves
Ooh,
the
and we
queen
have
back.
a check
Peter in check now.
by Matthew. That's teammate on teammate.
Yep.
Check right there.
Yep. Maybe not as close of teammates as I thought as they move back towards each other here. And now Scolio goes more aggressive, picking off Peter piece by piece right now as he's exclusively claimed yellow pieces this match. Scolio had a taste for Matthew in the first game, not feeling it this one. It's Peter now who's receiving the brute end of that force there. Five
Yeah,
pieces
yeah,
taken out.
losing a lot of pieces there, Skep, and just sort of, barring one of those pawns making it to the middle of the board, for a queen. I mean, Peter at this point looking, I mean, worse for
Look,
wear is a
yeah,
way to put it. Certainly.
yeah, yeah, man. I'd say that too. But this is also like the same spot. This is a worse spot than where Matthew was last game because he had a knight and a rook to play with. Peter only has a bishop right now, and five pawns. So basically, GG'd at this point. I mean, needs to get those pawns out, but other than that, is feeling like he's outgunned, outnumbered. Everything is against him right now, and now starting to move forward, but feels like it's only a matter of time till the rest of these players start to move in for the kill on the wounded Peter.
Yeah, it'll be a matter of who gets Peter off the board, who
And there it
decides to go in
is.
for that elimination. You got to remember, you're putting your pieces out, right? You're putting your pieces in harm's way if you go after Peter in this situation. So
Yep.
you got to be a little careful about what you're strategizing, what your plan is.
I like it. Very true. Never out of harm's way at the end of the day.
Hmm.
And Donda still just his queen camping in the middle of the map, right? You can't get any pieces to the middle right now because Donda is holding that down. I mean, you get close,
Yeah.
that queen is taking you out. So a really good spot for Donda to be in. Has both his queens in play right now. And interested to see, man, which one of these players is going to take that next big move. Trying to trap this Scolio Knight up here in the top corner. Peter doing what he can. Donda's move up, though. About to enter the time. Donda, honestly, I think plays it to the end of the bubble timer every single round. I think he
Yeah.
kind of knows because it every time I'm like looking at that timer, I'm like, all right, he's about to hit the clock,
He's
and it
there,
never
right?
hits.
Yep.
Yeah, because he
He's
knows.
close. He's
So
close. He's close. And then makes a move, right?
yep. So he's always got his bubble timer. Definitely playing good on that. And now moving that queen towards that red Matthew zone. So interested to see if this is the attack. And now look at that. Peter showing some life in him, sending that bishop out into the helm, into the middle of it.
Yep. Yeah, getting in the mix, and I mean, at this point, doesn't have a ton of pressure, so I think that I really like the move. Getting out and trying to chip away at a little bit of what is around you, right? You know, Peter could just kind of like hunker down and say, whatever, I'm almost out of here. But I think when you get that bishop out into that positioning and you are getting yourself to having a little more space in the middle of the board, you possibly are talking about a queen here, right? If one of these pawns you decide to get it out and really get to moving, it could happen. It could happen, certainly. There's a lot of other things going on with the rest of these players as Scolio goes for a move to put Peter in check. Check. Peter will have to move that king and does, and it is on to Donda.
And now Donda pushing that pawn out to the middle, and we know what this play is. We've seen this one from Donda countless times before. Trying to push that pawn out to the middle, and right now uncontested in terms of doing so. That's Matthew's clock ticking away right now.
Sure is. And Matthew, under 10 seconds. Scepter, what is the move going to be? The queen does come out to put Donda in check. And we are on to Scolio. The move is to Scolio. What will Scolio decide to do? The knight is going to move over and advance towards Donda's side of the board. And now on to Peter. Peter going to bring that bishop back and solidify just a little bit. Again, lacking pieces on that yellow end of the board. And Donda, we said it, always moves at the very last second. Will he do it? Will he do it? Will he do it? Oh, gonna chip away. The time's going.
Finally chipping away. I mean,
What
he's
is
in
Donda
check.
gonna do?
He's in a tough spot right now, Thunder.
Oh,
Finally moves at the last second there, but the time finally and Peter's out. Good game,
oh,
Peter. Matthew said your game's over. So
yowza.
slid into the back lines and took out his classmate.
That is that.
So
The
GG's Matthew.
yep.
Or GG's
GG's
Peter, sorry.
GG's Peter. Good work, Matthew, certainly. Taking out that king over there on the side of Peter, leaving 3 players left in this 4-person chess match. Man, it has been a fun night, folks. Thanks again, everybody, for being here, everybody for hanging out, and everybody who has been a fan of MNVL as we continue to
Oh,
grow and as we
Donda.
continue to do our thing. Here, oh, we have got a check. Donda is
And
in check,
out!
and it is mate
Out!
by 2 players. By 2 players, Skep. That's what it was. It was Scolio
Wow.
and Matthew and both of their positions. That was
They
it.
just
And
dude,
no
they just
place left
took
to
both
go,
players out.
dude.
They just took both players out because it
Woo!
was the knight and queen to take out Peter, and then it was the knight and queen to take out Donda as well. So, I don't know if
Wow.
Matthew and Scolio, just decided to make that red and blue power work together there. But dude, I mean, excellent play from those two, eliminating the other 2 players early here. And now, I mean, these 2 players fighting for it all. 40
Yes.
points to 42, make it 49 to 42.
Wow.
Matthew
Yeah.
losing that queen, and that might be trouble.
Most certainly. Oh,
Scolio is
we.
going to have another queen on the horizon here. He's only one piece away.
He
Pushing
sure
it forward
is.
one more, and that's a
But
queen.
you see it there moving into that position, Skep. You
Oh, the
see
bishop.
on the
Yep.
lineup is Matthew's bishop ready to go. So you are
Yep.
not about to just be jumping into the middle there because you're going to lose that queen as soon as you get it.
Very true. Nice defensive setup now, moving that rook into position for Scolio and going aggressive with it. Trying to maybe block the path. The knight goes aggressive and nice pickup there. Scolio taking that one out there. My goodness, right now, the back and forth, man. These players are making it happen.
Absolute craziness out here. Matthew v. Scolio, who is going to take this second game of 4-person chess. They work together basically to take out
Dude,
their 2 opponents in Peter and Donda, and now it is all
oh
to
my
this.
goodness.
It is
I
Scolio
think
going to take a
I think that
pawn,
might be it. Dude, look at
and
this. He's got the
now
rook to back it up, Thunder. He can make
does, and
that a
there's a
queen.
queen. Is that queen going to go down to the bishop right away? No, I think Matthew is definitely going to want to keep that piece. Oh, no, does give up the piece. Does decide to give up the piece, and there attacks the other pawn who was really in position to make a move on the mid and go ahead and get another queen going. So now these two will go ahead and they
Check.
will either clean up pawns or they will go ahead and put each other in check as quickly as they can. As they can. I say that with at least a little level of apprehension because with the amount of pieces that are left and the type of pieces that are left, uh this could go a bit of distance here, Scap.
Yeah, man, this is kind of what it's looking like. We're burning down to the wire here. Scolio still has some good pieces available to him, just none of them are really developed. That rook and knight both sitting in his main base, and his other rook and knight are in no man's land, right? So right now, trying to deal with this main front of the assault, this pressure coming in from Matthew's red rook right up here. If they can take care, I mean, if Scolio can take care of that though, that should be the game. As long as Matthew
Yeah.
can't get those pawns to the middle. We've seen him pull that
Yeah,
one off before.
I think Scolio at this point really wants to find a way to take out the last important couple of pieces for Matthew, and then it's GG's unless Matthew pulls some sort of heroics in getting some of these pieces out of the way. Gonna take out that pawn, which is trying for a queen. I like that. Scolio
Now,
all over. I mean, multiple corners of this board just ready for anything that Matthew has to offer, my man.
yeah, dude, moving that knight out a little bit now and
Huh.
trying to pincer
Ooh.
Matthew in here. Finally finds Matthew in check now, moving this king forward. But how far can you go? These rooks now going to start to cause a problem for this red king moving forward.
Yep. Yep, because he can't advance forward at all. That rook gonna come out and start pressuring the middle, maybe it could be. I guess we're gonna see on that one. But oh, and there's that. I think a trade is gonna happen here. Are we gonna get that pawn out of there or no? Yes, that will be it. Two castles, two knights for Scolio, and one lone castle for the side of Matthew. What is the plan here?
How interested to see. I mean, Scolio's starting to play defensive, it feels like. He keeps pulling this rook back further and further towards his king, now deciding to go aggressive. Maybe trying to maneuver this king in, but a little bit of a blunder. No, the nice trade is
Oh
in.
no.
The knight for the rook, and then the
It's the
king
trades you want
capitalizing.
there. The trades you want there, Skep, because at that point you are down to
Three
three
pawns and a
pawns
king, man.
and a king. And this
Great play to
advancement, one more
Scolio.
space will get him a queen, but I
Yeah,
wonder
there's some
if
great plays by Scolio, though, for sure.
yeah, really great plays. And I wonder if Scolio is ready for
He is.
uh this
He can
queen to
take
be a
out.
part of the situation. Well, no, the king is gonna advance instead. Hmm. Maybe just gaining some space is what Matthew's
Well, he's
thinking
trying
at
to
this point.
protect. He's trying to protect this queen, right? He wants to turn it into a queen and have the king right there to trade off of it because he knew that
Yep.
was going to happen. But
Yep.
still, now Matthew is like has no real pieces, but somehow is finding a way to take out these pawns.
It is so, so true, my man. He is gonna just kind of bounce around. Scolio
Dude,
gonna leave that knight on the other side of the board, saying, I'm gonna let all this play out and see what I can take out on my own until we get to the end of this thing. There comes the knight on an advance.
yep. This knight is moving forward aggressively now.
Ready to take out this pawn.
And now the king
Ooh.
shifting focus, but this knight just falls back, does well to block off that pawn. But I mean,
Yes, sir.
I struggle to see how Matthew finds a way to ever catch this horse. I mean, the knight rather, like
Yeah,
legit. The knight's just gonna keep jumping away.
right.
The pawns keep edging forward slowly and slowly. Now in check. Nice advancement. Looking to pressure this knight. Losing the knight off that. That was oh good movement there.
Yeah, protecting so
Good
that he can get
movement.
this queen.
Scolio, queen, and now this king's in trouble.
Yep.
It was a
Big
race to the
trouble.
middle, and Scolio with the nice positioning there, getting that taken care of. But Matthew, just like that, got a queen himself, and we're
Yep.
back to square one again. These guys just love doing this.
Trading again. He's going to take out that last pawn, and
Dude,
it
yeah.
is 2 pawns. Oh, now we got some speed. We got some speedy movement. That king is going to come try to chase down what is becoming a queen, but oh no. No siree. That will be that. This queen is going to chase down this king of Matthews, and it is going to be Scolio, unless we end up in a stalemate, which I guess could happen. But it is looking as though Scolio will move Matthew back into the corner, and we'll call it GG's. It's just a matter of moments here, folks. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Coming to join us for chess here on All-Star Weekend at MNVL.
Yep.
Now,
Creeping up
Scolio,
slowly. I mean, Matthew's in a corner at this point almost here. So
yep.
it is almost doomed. Almost.
Yeah, you got to get this. You got to get your guy all the way over into the corner. And then when that happens, as we said, you call it GG's. What is the next move for Scolio? Move back out there. And he's going to want to just try to
Yeah,
pinch.
yeah,
There it
there it is.
is.
There it
Boom.
is.
Scolio will win your second game of the night, folks, here in All Star Chess at MNVL. Skep, what a pleasure it has been. It has been a blast casting chess with you tonight, man.
Oh yeah, dude, we did great.
Yeah.
I didn't think we'd do this smoothly. So overall, man, I'm happy with how it went. But you and I
Yeah.
are a dynamic duo that frankly can take on whatever challenge MNBL throws at us. So
The
man,
dream
make it
team.
happen.
That
Pro
is what they
bass
call us.
fishing is what we're casting next season, was what you leaked earlier. So spring season, man. Bust out the Bass Pro Shop hats, everybody. That's where
Ah!
Thunder and I are gonna be. We're gonna be
We're
casting from the
casting
river
bass
or the
fishing.
lake.
Oh,
You
I
know.
love it. I love it. We're on a boat in our camos and our little curve
Got the
bill
headsets
hats and
on,
the
or
yep.
like
Oh,
yeah. And beautiful,
yes, camo
beautiful
headsets. Let's
casting
get it.
form.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Hey, listen, folks, it has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you to all of our chess players. Again, this is the smallest of our leagues here at MNVL. So if you are interested in playing chess, or you have friends who are interested in playing chess at MNVL, please let them know. We have a great time. We love to provide all these different esports for our players. Anything from Call of Duty Valorant to Rocket League, which is coming up next, to chess.com, one of our esports at MNVL. What a pleasure it has been tonight. On behalf of our production crew, who is killing it already tonight, doing the resizing on the fly, on behalf of my main man, Skeptor, the Dream Team, dynamic duo out here on the caster desk, and everybody else at MNVL. My name is Thunder McFadden, and folks, we're going to take a break. And when we come back later, it is All-Star Rocket League. Come back and join us then. Thanks, y'all.